everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today to do an update to a story that I had told you about a few weeks ago concerning Korryn Gaines. Now, if you remember, Korryn Gaines is the young lady that the Baltimore police had gone to her apartment to serve a warrant for her arrest. Now, they stated that Korryn had barricaded herself in her apartment and refused to come out. The Baltimore police also stated that Korryn pointed a gun at them, and that is the reason why they had to shoot her. Now, since then, they have been working on that case, and what has happened is some eyewitnesses have now come out and are starting to speak about what occurred that day. Now, these eyewitnesses are disputing the narrative that was put out by the police. First off, the family of Korryn Gaines has now notified the Baltimore Police Department that they're going to sue them and the officer who actually killed Korryn. The family's attorney sent a letter to Baltimore County alleging excessive force, suppression of speech, negligence, and other charges. The letter that the family sent to the Baltimore County gives the name of the officer who shot Korryn as Officer Ruby. They don't give his first name. There is now an eyewitness account from Korryn's next door neighbor, Mr. Ramon Coleman. Mr. Coleman says that Korryn offered to surrender to the police. He claims that she asked the police to lower their guns and then she would put hers down. Now, Mr. Coleman goes on to claim that the police said no and told Korryn that they were not leaving. Mr. Coleman also states that the police drilled holes in his living room, bedroom, and bathroom walls so they could monitor Korryn's movements with surveillance equipment that was connected to TV-like monitors in his apartment. He said that they did this so they could watch and hear what was going on in her apartment from different angles. Mr. Korryn also claimed that the police had swarmed that entire area. He stated that they were at every single window, every exit, and every door of that complex and were armed with rifles. He goes on to tell the Baltimore Sun, that's I guess their local newspaper, that he and his 1-year-old daughter were not allowed to leave the premises and at least 8 officers were in his home. He also claims that multiple members of Korryn's family repeatedly approached police and offered to help them de-escalate the situation, but they were turned down. He said that he heard an officer tell Korryn, "I'm sick of this shit, put the gun down." Then the next thing he heard were the gunshots that ultimately killed Korryn. Now, after the shooting of Korryn, Mr. Coleman says he and his family were so upset that they moved to another unit within that complex. He also goes on to say that he did not think that Korryn deserved to die like that. He felt that they could have done a better job of it. Now, this letter that was sent by Korryn's family to Baltimore County alleges that the Baltimore police violated Korryn's constitutional rights by blocking her live stream on Facebook, and they prohibited family members who wanted to help from helping. They go on to explain that police had little motivation to go and get a key from the landlord when Korryn's apartment complex was right across the street from the Baltimore County Police Department, according to the arrest warrant. The letter also states that although the Baltimore Police Department did have an arrest warrant for Korryn Gaines and her boyfriend, that they did not have a search warrant to enter her apartment. nor justifiable reason to insist on confronting Korryn at the time of her murder, because the letter is stating that Korryn's warrant was for a misdemeanor traffic offense. This letter that the family sent also states that the county's mobile crisis team, which joins police when mental health professionals are needed, had never arrived on the scene. And this is according to the family's attorney. And as a side note, Korryn was not the first person killed by Officer Ruby. In 2007, he was one of a two-man tactical team that responded to a call of a suicidal 24-year-old suffering from bipolar disorder. Now, that individual ended up killed by these officers who stated that the individual pointed a gun at them. Now, that is one of the accounts from an eyewitness. And I'm pretty sure that now this account has come out, there are going to be more. Now, when I did this story before, a lot of people really beat up on Korryn Gaines. And, we talked about how we thought maybe she was suffering from mental illness. A lot of people said in the comment section that she was a sovereign citizen. And there was a lot of back and forth about whether this young girl deserved to die. I had a lot of people in the comments stating that all she had to do was surrender and she would be alive. Now, if this account of Korryn Gaines' next door neighbor is true and accurate, then the neighbor is saying that she offered to surrender if the police would lower their guns. I guess she was scared and she thought if she walked out that they would shoot her, which they ultimately did. But this neighbor is saying that they offered to. Now, also, if this account that the neighbor gives is true and they drilled all these holes in his apartment, then they could see everything and hear everything that was going on in Korryn's apartment. Now, that gives me pause, because if, as I keep saying, everything that this man is saying is true, and the family offered repeatedly to help de-escalate the situation, and they were in this neighbor's apartment, why couldn't they bring one of the family members up to his apartment? Since they had surveillance, they could see and hear, and give that family member some type of phone or, walkie-talkie or some, thing that would amplify their voice so Korryn could, hear that that was a family member, and maybe, that would have calmed her down and got her out of that apartment safely. I am going to say again that I believe that they could have done a better job of getting this young woman out of that apartment. The very fact that they did not allow or request a mental health unit to come in and assist with this, coaxing her out of the apartment, it makes you wonder. And then think about it. Her son, who was, I believe, only 5 years old, talked about that his mommy was trying, I guess, to surrender, and that she had told him to go get in the closet. So they heard all of this. They heard it. That baby also stated that they shot him while he was running away. Now, this story, I don't know, y'all. You hate to think that these stories are fishy and that, the police are lying, but we know that they do. And for them to block her Facebook and, in effect, silence her from trying to tell people what was going on. Because if you listen to what this neighbor is saying, this doesn't sound right, guys. It doesn't sound right. Now, when I first heard about this story, the first thing I thought too was, you know what? Why didn't she just come out? I was very dismissive of basically, and I feel bad about it, this young woman's life for a moment because I just thought, why didn't she just come out? But then as you start to get details of this story, it makes you question the job that the police did that day. You know, could they have done this a better way? And for me, the answer to that question is yes. Because, as this case progresses and different eyewitnesses start to come out, the police have already put out their narrative. They had their little press conference and they told their side of the story. Korryn is dead, so she cannot tell her side of the story. Now, her 5-year-old was in the apartment, but if they put him on the witness stand, are the jurors going to trust the account of a 5-year-old? So these eyewitness testimonies are going to become crucial in this. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to discount those eyewitnesses. They're going to dig into their past and try to make it seem like they're bad people and everything that they can do to justify the killing of this young woman. Because what we got from the police is she was crazy, that they tried. She was pointing a gun at them while she had her 5-year-old in her arms. We had this whole narrative, going into this story. And it made us, at first, some of us, say, why didn't she just come out? I'm going to tell you guys, some of the comments that I got, in my comments section concerning this story were downright horrifying. We have gotten to a place in our country, in this time that we live in, that we are so callous about human life. People say, well, if she would have just done this, then she would have been alive. Fuck the bitch. That's the comments that I was getting. And as I read all of those comments, it really, really made me sad for just, the way that we don't care about each other anymore. That we're so willing to say, just shoot her, kill her. In other countries, they are able to de-escalate situations that happen the same here as in America. You have countries where police have not shot, one of the people that live in the cities that they police in years. What is it about America and these fucking guns and these trigger happy damn police? Because good policing, and especially if these eyewitnesses' stories are true, good policing could have gotten her out of that apartment. It's like, to me, that they got tired of it. And this Mr. Coleman said that they seemed frustrated with her. That is his statement, not mine. He said that he believed that they got frustrated with Korryn. And basically she was making them angry by not coming out of that apartment. Now, if that's the case, that's really sad, that our police here in America are either so untrained that they shoot first and ask questions later, or they're so callous and uncaring for human life that they shoot first. You know, the fact that they did not have a mental health mobile unit there is very telling. It's very telling. The fact that they did not allow that girl's family to come up and help de-escalate that situation when Mr. Coleman said they asked repeatedly to help. Now imagine that you're on the scene and there's a standoff with your family member and you have asked the police, please let us help. And they tell you no. And then the next thing you know, your family member is dead. This is a sad, sad case. It is very sad. Because again, I believe that they could have done more. I don't give a damn what people say because they do it every day. There are people that are talked out of buildings who have shot and killed multiple people, and they're able to talk them down. This girl had a fucking misdemeanor, and she's dead. They came to her home to serve her an arrest warrant for minor traffic offenses. And because she would not come out of her apartment, for them, the only recourse was to kill her. And then now I don't believe a damn thing they said about what happened in that apartment, especially now that I've read one of the eyewitnesses' accounts. This man lived right next door, because if they were able to drill holes in his walls and look into her apartment, he wasn't down the hall, he wasn't across the corridor, he was right fucking next door. And with that, people, I'm out. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching my video. Bye-bye now.